Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the installment of Scott's Selections here for Tuesday, October 27th. We're getting today's play today. Quick recap of what happened yesterday. Unfortunately, we picked up a loss with the player prop we had on Monday Night Football, as we ended up having the Nick Foles under 249.5 passing yards, which was available on DraftKings at minus 112. But looked really good for about three quarters. It looked like Foles was going to get benched at some point because the game ended up becoming a blowout. Then you had the Rams who gave up that fumble touchdown. Foles stayed in the game. I don't know for sure if Trubisky was going to come in, but they were down 21, had 3 points with about 5.5 minutes to go or so. So it didn't really look that promising for Chicago. The Rams ended up getting 0 first downs in their last 4 drives combined, which gave the Bears some extra possessions. Kind of unfortunate there. A couple of first downs moved the chains, and Foles probably doesn't get there. But either way, game flow didn't help, and the Rams offense completely shutting down late in the fourth quarter didn't help either. But overall, we're going to be looking to bounce back with a play that a winner here on Tuesday. Now, I know that there's one game on the card that's going to be the World Series with the Dodgers and the Rays. However, we're not going to have a play on that game because we indirectly already have a play on that game. I gave out the Dodgers minus 1.5 games in the World Series about a week and a half ago. And now, as a result, I now have Dodgers money line in Game 6 at minus 110 instead of minus 130 or so because of the fact that if they win Game 6, then I win the bet. And if they lose Game 6, then I lose. So that's basically how that's going to work out. So for that reason, we're not going to be talking about the baseball game here on Tuesday. Instead, we're going to be doing a look-ahead line on the upcoming NFL card this weekend. And it's, the first matchup is going to be a two-pick parlay. And the first matchup we're going to be talking about is going to be between the Packers and the Vikings. We're going to be taking the Packers on the money line at minus 275 on Fox Bet. A couple reasons why I like Green Bay in the spot. First of all, these two teams have been heading in opposite directions all season long. Minnesota has imploded already, and they're coming off a bye this week, but they also have had some pretty interesting news, which makes it seem like, I don't want to say that they're tanking, but it makes it seem like they are preparing for the future, as they have already traded their offseason acquisition in Ngakoue. He's no longer on the team. Plus, they also announced that Danielle Hunter, one of their best defensive linemen, is officially out for the year. He didn't play, but there were some rumors he might come back, and that was unfortunately not the case, and they ended up announcing that he was gone. Minnesota simply has a huge issue involving Kirk Cousins. He's just not very good with this team. There's a reason why Minnesota has one of the worst records in the league. This team can't generate anything on a consistent basis. The defense has been a disaster. They're kind of very underwhelming in almost every aspect of football, with the exception of the wide receiver core. And Green Bay's 5-1. They already beat Minnesota in the season opener. They're averaging 32 points per game. After a terrible showing against Tampa Bay, they bounced back as they ended up beating Houston on the road by 15 points. At the end of the day, Green Bay is the better overall team, and I do think that they should be able to get the job done against a Vikings team that is 1-5 and has already somewhat announced that they're not fully competing by trading Ngakoue, which I think is a pretty telling sign. The first pick in this two-pick parlay is going to be on the Packers money line. The second pick is going to be on the Tennessee Titans money line against the Cincinnati Bengals, and that is at minus 250 on Fox Bet. Now, a couple reasons why I like Tennessee in the spot. First of all, I already talked about the Packers and Vikings and how both teams are heading opposite directions. Similar story here, as Tennessee is 5-1 in possession of one of the best records in the AFC, whereas Cincinnati is 1-5-1. Although Cincinnati has looked competitive over the last couple of weeks, blowing that huge double-digit lead to the Colts 2 weeks ago, losing to Cleveland last week in a game they were leading with about 3 minutes to go. However, the main issue with Cincinnati is the fact that their defense is terrible. They've given up at least 31 points each of the last 2 weeks. Offensively, Burrow is phenomenal. I will acknowledge that, but the offensive line is still a disaster, and Burrow is still getting sacked roughly 4 or 5 times a game. Tennessee has had some issues when it comes to generating pressure, but I do believe that Tennessee should be able to do enough when it comes to getting after Cincinnati's awful offensive line en route to a nice performance here. Now, Tennessee might have lost to Pittsburgh, but I actually am kind of impressed by that loss. They were trailing by 20-plus early in the game. It looked like the game was going to turn into a blowout. They were going to simply just shut it down, and that did not happen, as Tennessee ended up outscoring Pittsburgh 17-3 in the second half. They ended up showcasing a lot of resiliency before Gostkowski missed the game-tying kick with less than a minute to go. But Tennessee is still a very solid team. Tannehill still looks very good. Derrick Henry struggled last week, but Pittsburgh has a great run defense. Cincinnati is one of the worst rush defenses in the league. I think that Henry should be able to go for 100-plus. A.J. Brown at 6 receptions, 153 yards against the Steelers. I think he should play well. But at the end of the day, Tennessee's offense is really good. Vrabel's a phenomenal coach. And even though Cincinnati has shown signs of life over the last couple of weeks, they've still lost to the Browns and the Colts. And Tennessee is a very solid team in the AFC. So I do believe that Tennessee should get the job done. Game might be closer than people expect, but I do think Tennessee's a better all-around team, and that should lead to a nice victory there. So the two-pick parlay here for Tuesday is going to be on the Packers money line and the Titans money line, and that two-pick pays out a -110 on Fox Bet, a time of recording of 10:43 a.m. Eastern Time. That's been the installment Scott Selections. Good luck to all of you and your respective bets today. Bye, everyone.